I made this painting over the last it's been finished for a little bit. The last couple of weeks. Can you see that? We'll make that work. Okay. We'll make that work. Okay. And I wanted to talk about it because I really like it. And there's a lot going on. And there's someone who knew something about something who said, like, you know, symbols are really important, but you can get lost in them because at a point they completely lose meaning. You look at like art history, and I'm thinking of a famous one of like a bishop with a bunch of animals around him, and like the casual viewer at the time would know that like the pig represented the Pope and the cardinal represented probably a cardinal, and it's completely lost in the modern viewer. So symbolism important, but if you don't know what the symbols mean, then what does it really mean? So I love this thing, and it probably looks like it means nothing to a lot of people, but it means everything to me. The pink background with the polka dots is based off of a rug I bought out of the child's section at Target. And I don't know this to be true, but I'm pretty sure that purchase triggered baby formula to be sent to my parents' house, which, and the only reason I think that is because like Target famously got in trouble for that like a decade ago, like predicting someone's pregnancy. I wasn't pregnant, I was buying a rug out of the kids section. The baby formula was weird, and then my parents made me feel really bad about it, and I wasn't sure what was going on. And that's how I deduced that. But I also just liked the rug, which is why I bought it in the first place. Personal data. But the rug, the theory floor. Rugs go on the floor. This is Saturn. Goya famously has a picture, a painting, Saturn devouring his children. I don't really get astrology all that much, but communities thrive when old men plant trees that they will never see the shade of. And we do not inherit land from our fathers, but we borrow it from our children. Youth are a future, something, something, protect the kids, I don't know. I do know. So often, I feel like my own future was stolen by greed of people who went before me. And it pisses me off. So much of what I do in life is because I am so mad at the state of the world. I was pretty well born into like every luxury one could imagine. I had private piano lessons starting from a young age. I traveled the world. I was never hungry, or there was always food in the house. And the system's still rigged against me. You know, I had a good education. Whatever. Powers that be. So, the theory floor is what I don't know what you can say on live yet, where my chomo piano teacher liked to be a chomo, and he would always call it the theory floor. And like all this Epstein stuff in the news is gross, and I don't like it, and I don't want to talk about it. So I took piano lessons for like 7 or 8 years in my life, maybe longer. And they were all awful. And I didn't really practice at home much because I hated the classes for aforementioned reasons. So during class, I got to spend a lot of time on music theory. And oddly, I can play like half of one song on the piano, but I have an ear for music that has remained that I'm kind of proud of, but it doesn't really do me any good because I can just hear good music. I worked at a jazz club for a while. I'm really proud of that because a piano's kind of scared me for a long time. That's like a real true thing. Not like scared me, but like I don't want to be around a piano. And when I first started, there was a certain shift where they were tuning the piano after a jazz show. And I was hungover, and my coworkers were hungover. It was a morning shift. He just kept hitting, it seemed like he just kept hitting this one note at the end of the low range. Bong, bong, for like 40 minutes while we rolled silverware. And everyone else was like hungover, traumatized, and I was like really sitting there like, actually, this is exactly what I've gotten myself into. Why did I do this? Because now, 4.5 years later, it doesn't scare me. In fact, I am fond of the piano. What else do we have in here? So this is sheet music. So it's like the rug and then the sheet music. I have the Clover or the club because I'm lucky. I took him to court for what it's worth. He got jail time and is on a list. I'm very proud of that also. Overcoming your fears. Yes. Oh, it's not sunny enough today, but I've got these rainbows because I painted this to hang it right here. And the sun, I have these sun catchers and the sun will throw rainbows on it. So I actually started with the rainbows because I knew it was going to hang right there. I've got 3 blue stars because I don't know why, I'm a star. There's a target. I've got these like cell dividing flowers. I don't know. It was kind of like a parallel time little things, kind of like a I'm gonna say Blastoise, but the two cells dividing, like you have one cell and it divides into 2 cells like in an embryo. Not Blastoise, but so I've got those kind of separating over time and space. A heart because I try not to be bitter. I gave this polka dot a hat. And this is a red It balloon, like Stephen King's It. You know, like tempting children into sewers and stuff. Yeah, I really think that's about all I have. And it really probably doesn't mean all that much to anyone but me, but it is one of my all-time favorite pieces, and it is exactly what I wanted. And I'm really proud of it, and thank you for listening. Oh, and I guess this is live, so I might have some